Good evening, I'm Bob Leonard and I'm Washington, D.C. 6 News. Today, the world's largest snake was delivered to the National Zoo to fill the empty giant panda enclosure, breaking a world record as the largest snake ever to live in captivity, coming in at 33 feet. Noodle, as newly named by the D.C. schoolchildren, is now the longest snake to live in captivity in the world, beating the previous record of 32 feet 10 inches, discovered in 1912. Noodles came to the National Zoo after a severe hunting accident in Southeast Asia. Noodle will never be fit to return to the wild, but have a great new home here in the National Zoo with hundreds of beloved fans. In other news, it's another scorcher out today. Today's high is 110 degrees, just topping yesterday's 105 degrees. Meteorologists are perplexed by its unusual spike, and unfortunately see no sign of the temperature dropping. Some weather experts advise everyone to stay indoors and drink as much water as possible. Are Egyptian gods walking the earth again? Egyptologists released new research on recently discovered ancient scrolls, suggesting a new doomsday date after scrolls recovery during an archaeology expedition. Dr. Science, in a report, suggests that the Egyptians feared a doomsday upon the release of a long-walk-away evil god. Why do the Egyptians fear the half-reptile, half-man god of destruction? Science and their team were midway through translating the scroll in their discovery when they were robbed and the scroll was damaged in an altercation. Science believes that the end of the day date the Egyptians spoke of was perhaps as soon as this year. And now we go to Isaac Roberts, who's interviewing acclaimed archaeologist, professor, and adventurer, Montana Brown. It's great to be sitting down this evening with Montana Brown. You're a famed archaeologist and expert on lost artifact recovery and are now a permanent fixture of the Natural History Museum, dedicated to your recoveries in the Natural History Museum. Can you tell us more about it? As a child digging up rocks in my yard, I could have never imagined I'd be here talking to you about the Montana Brown Ancient Recovery Artifacts, wing of the Smithsonian Natural History Museum. This collection contains some of my most precious and most difficult to reclaim artifacts, starting from where I just got my doctorate to Alberta Albatross incident from just years back. Oh, we couldn't forget that. What drew you to this late adventure in digging up artifacts in all manner of places? It all started when after digging up in the backyard, of course, when I was 7 and on vacation with my family. I was at the beach and wandering off to a cave to get away from all my loud siblings. I sat down and thought I saw something shiny in the sand, so I started digging, and I pulled out a fully intact teacup. Boy, was it old looking. It took some research. My parents and I discovered it was the only teacup thrown into the harbor during the Boston Tea Party. We believe it belonged to Benjamin Franklin. Wow, that's incredible. Among many other items, that teacup will be in the exhibit. Of all the items you've recovered that will be in the exhibit, which is your favorite? Oh, I have that one right here with me. This little guy is only believed to be the gem Nehebka. Excuse me, Egyptologist, my pronunciation is off. I can never get this one right. I translated a dark history from the tomb from which it was recovered. Lots of scheming, poisoning, murder, you think of it. Someone did it to try and get it. Some people think it's a gem of prophecy that will allow Nehebka the power to return from the underworld and bring the end time so he can once again reign over the world. That's just a bunch of stories the Egyptians told each other to keep out of their tombs. Could I take a look? Of course, here you go. Oops! Oh, I think we have a problem. Breaking news, I'm Bob Leonard, and purple haze has filled the DC skies, causing some strange phenomena. Primarily, Noodle, the National Zoo's beloved reticulated python, has grown 500 times its size and is making a path through downtown DC. Since we can't go outside because of the boiling temperatures, our intern has made a diorama to showcase what is happening outside. Authorities are unsure how to proceed, but are putting out a mandatory evacuation for the city. Also, the temperature is spiking and breaking thermometers. Experts are guessing the 130 degrees range. I've gotten that translator out! Nehebka, Montana Brown, what are you doing in this current moment? I translated how to deal with the cursor, and it was laced when the gem of Nehebka broke. If we don't get this fixed in the next day, we're gonna boil to death out here as a giant stinking beauty of Nehebka's energy melts us down. Nehebka. Do you want me to put in a 1 minute countdown? Please! Nehebka. So how do you undo the curse? Nehebka. We have to trace the shape of the Great Pyramid of Giza 5 times while saying the Egyptian name, Egyptian god Nehebka's name. Nehebka? Why can't I do this one right? Nehebka. Well, one Montana works on that for the next 45 seconds. As you might have guessed, the Welcome Noodle Parade has been canceled tonight. On account of Noodle being a destructive monster terrorizing the city, and the fact that temps out there will literally melt your shoes. This just in, our internet has run some quick Google searches and believes it's pronounced Nehebka. I don't think that sounds right. Could you try? Fine! Nehebka. Is it over? Seems so. Good, we can cut to commercial. Good evening, I'm Bob Leonard at Washington, D.C. 6 News. After yesterday's incident, the snake that went on a rampage in Washington, D.C. Was recovered and returned to the National Zoo. Thankfully, he had returned to his modest but still record-breaking for a python, 32 feet in size. And the zoo had decided to rename him from Noodle to Nebi to commemorate the day that we did not get smited by the god Nehebka. I bet we can all say that name now. A special thanks again to Professor Montana Brown's quick and valiant efforts to save us from the curse of the gem of Nehebka. And now to Isaac Roberts on the road that is newly assigned role as traffic reporter.
Is that again?
Okay. That was loud.
I'm gonna press play. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
It's great to be staying down this evening with you, Montana Brown. No, I messed up already. Okay, I'll stop.